Another cannon? That's a great question. I've never heard that one. No, but great guess.
Firestone Plaza.
Firestone Plaza. You're right. And that means that we are standing on a whole bunch of books because this is our main library, Firestone Library. I kind of like to describe Firestone as an iceberg. So Firestone Library goes 3 stories up, 3 stories down, all the way to East Pine, all the way to Nassau Street, and all the way to Washington. So it's a huge library with a lot of books, and we like to talk about that because of our importance of independent research on Princeton's campus. So basically, Firestone is an open shelf stacking system. So that means that if you walked up to a shelf, you can literally just take a book off. You don't have to get a librarian. So it's a very, very accessible resource. And if you walked and touched all of the books, you'd be walking the distance it takes to get to New York City because we have 70 miles of open shack shelving. So it's a lot of books. So basically, Princeton does a very, very good job of preparing you for your independent work, which culminates kind of in your senior year with your senior thesis. So every AB student and BSE student in a kind of different format will write a senior thesis, which is basically an independent research paper of around 80 to 100 pages, could be as little as like 60 depending on your department, but it is on a topic that interests you and you get to write about it your whole senior year. So for me, this was a really, really daunting task. I went to a big public school, had written like 3 research papers in my life, so I was like, how am I going to do this? But Princeton does a really, really good job of preparing you right from your freshman year. So during your freshman year, you will be enrolled in a writing seminar. So this is for a class that every single freshman has to take, and it basically walks you through how to write academically. So you will write 3 essays throughout the semester with your professor. You'll get to meet one-on-one with your professor, as well as work with your peers to learn how to write and the structure that Princeton wants you to write. So it really evens the playing field on writing, and it is kind of for fun topics. So for example, I took a writing sim called Confessions. So we literally looked at Twitter confessions and how they related to confession culture, wrote essays about them. So it's not just some stuffy things. It's not just some stuffy
Happy birthday!
Thank you. So basically, writing sim is kind of a fun way to get to learn how to write. And BSE majors will also participate in this, even if you're not a humanities student, so that everyone will be on the same playing field. So then when you get to your sophomore year, research and preparation is a little bit more lax. You're deciding your major because as an AB student, you'll decide your major your sophomore year and declare. And you have opportunities to take research seminars. For example, I took an advanced writing seminar. It was kind of a year-long writing seminar where we got to do a little piece of independent work. But the most of your independent work starts your junior year with your junior paper. So students will either have 1 to 2 junior papers to write their junior year, which is basically a mini senior thesis. So around 20 to 30 pages of whatever topic you choose. You'll have an advisor that will literally like walk your hand through the whole thing. And then some students will also be in a class that will help them write that JP. And so then you can take that JP and what you've learned and start your senior thesis. So you can continue what you're writing about with your JP with the same advisor, different advisor, and then you can basically write about what you want. So for example, one of my friends wrote about the kind of wait times at Disney World, and Princeton decided to send her to Disney World, fully funded, to do in-depth research. So again, Princeton has really, really great funding for research and can really help you in whatever you want to do for your senior thesis. So does anyone have any questions about independent work? I know